Now, we talked about the payment. Now, is this payment going to be made installmentally? Can it be paid installmentally, or you just have to get the bulk of the whole thing?
Well, the government has given various opportunities. There are a lot of windows of accessible to people to do the payment. If you have your money, you want to pay at once. Once you have been cleared or been eligible, you can pay at once. If you want to pay installmentally, you have that window of doing that within the 9 months. And if you want to even access banks, arrangements have been made where you can procure you can use the facility and pay back to the banks, to the respective banks. So we have that access by which you can do the payment. But you have to do complete payment before the end of the 9th month.
All right, I still have to take you back to the actual costs of some of these things. Like what I have here, the building approval, which currently, I suppose, is about 275,000,
yes,
to get building approval. So under this homeowners charter, what will the person be paying now? Is the person still going to be paying, what percentage discount is the person going to get?
What you have there is just an hypothetical example of a bungalow of about 3 bedrooms that you are essentially to pay 25,000 as assessment. But with the penalty, which is times 10, you pay 250 plus 25,000 of the assessment, making 275,000. But the government is waiving the penalty, and now you have to pay 20,000, which is the total you have to pay. But you have to produce your building plan.
Okay, and what about that of the CFO?
CFO, they are supposed to pay about 55,000 or 60,000. Now they are saying they should pay 35,000.
Okay. Now, what happens to those who do not take advantage of this homeowner charter?
Well, sincerely, I want us to realize that this is a passion of the government. The government is very considerate, and it is essential for anybody who has this advantage to take it now, because these are not jettisoned the current procedure of acquiring approval. So failure to do this means you will face the consequence in terms of facing the penalty, which we have to pay. And if eventually, you don't forget, the amnesty on this is holistic even in terms of standard. But if you fail to key into this program, you may face the challenge of having to pay the penalty or demolition of your property.
All right. Part of the gains, perhaps you listed here, that one stands to achieve through this program is that you talked about property-related fraud and problems of omoniles, yes, and that would be reduced. How? Well,
land is a very, very essential aspect of having acquired a building. And you can get your land from various sources. You can get from government, and you can get from families. But we find that of recent, the phenomenon of omoniles. And what they gain upon is, once they know you don't have your approvals on the property, they play on you. They come back every time when they are broke, when they need money, and they play pranks. So if you are able to get your documents regularized and legalized, definitely all these ones will be an issue of the past. But sincerely, communal clashes do arise because of land. But once you are able to do the regularization with government, then that will reduce. We have cases where people fight, where there are crises because of land ownership. But once you are able to do that and you have registered with government, you have a CFO, then definitely you are out of the mess.
All right. You also stated that the residential areas will benefit from, as in when you take advantage of this program, that your residential area will benefit from the Ogun State government's urban renewal policy, through effective planning of facilities in the areas of education, health, and other essential infrastructure. What that means that everybody, has to be forced to actually key into this or ensure that they have a proper approval for their planning. Because if perhaps I'm unable to do that, or I don't take advantage of this, well, does that mean that because I have not done that, then every other person around that area would not still benefit?
Well, the issue we are raising is like when God wants to provide for everybody and says a sinner should be somewhere and the rightful ones should be somewhere else. It's not like that. The government is for everybody.
Yeah.
But what we are saying is that the government is in full consideration of everyone, and you need to do your own part of it. How do we know you live there? If you don't show signs that you are there, even in many instances we discovered that we just discovered some people have just even developed massively in an area not known to government, except you go around, and these are happening in hinterlands. So because of this, it is essential that government must have records and should be able to know which direction of growth and how would they intervene in provision of amenities and facilities. So data is essential to planning. So if you have the data, government will be able to do the needful.
All right. Now, can a property owner who lives abroad also apply for this?
Yes, they can apply. They have the benefit to apply. Because what we have done is that keying into this window of opportunity, you can, those in diaspora can apply. The form can be sent to them through the speed mails or something for them to sign and return immediately. So they can key into it.
All right. Well, you said that the application, how much did you say the application for?
5,000.
Okay, 5,000. So which banks should the people who are interested in this, go to?
For us to know that,
I believe you have your partner banks.
Yes, we have partner banks initially, but as of yesterday, other banks showed interest because we are so much inundated by the response from the public. People are asking, like I receive not less than 200 calls a day, so that they want to key into it. So we are doing it massively, and because of this, other banks are showing interest now, and showing the interest, we are giving them the opportunity to sell forms on behalf of the state government. So we have virtually all the banks in Ogun State. Okay.
Now, here you talked about property occupying right-of-way of the NNPC pipeline. Yeah. Do you also put into consideration, I mean, what I have here, is it also put into consideration in your building or some of the property that will be included in all of this?
Well, these are existing regulations that you cannot build within the setback of high tension. You cannot be on the setback of NNPC right of way and all that. Is what is existing in the regulation. But now we are saying, even if you want to be part of this program, count yourself out of it if you have developed within those right of ways.
Okay.
So that's what we are saying.
And those that have developed within those right of ways, what is the government doing to ensure that they are out of that?
I'm sure you maybe recently you remember that when we have around Arepo area, where we have to go and demolish houses that are on the right of way it's dangerous to them, and therefore government will not condone such a thing. They have to find their way out of such places.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Igbolade Badejo. That's quite interesting, and I'm sure a lot of people will be interested to get to understand better how this works. Well, thank you for coming on the program.
I'm grateful.